So, Josh, what do you think? What did you think of Death Wish?
Death Wish was solid. Another 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Another 90-minute movie that this one kind of seemed like at some point it was meandering a little bit.
It's a slower movie. And that's just
burn.
the nature of the 70s action movies. They tend to be very slow by today's standards.
Extremely slow. I felt like Liam Neeson.
But there's character development,
There is character development. We really see, like, fucking Paul really struggling and figuring out what's good. And when he's going out in the streets, he's getting better each time and more confident in his fucking kills. You really see the power behind him growing. But it's good.
Before he even gets the gun, he starts with like a sock full of
$20 worth of quarters, man. He smacks that motherfucker, and then he runs into his crib. He starts drinking. He's got the adrenaline going. But it's a good movie. I liked it a lot. I'm actually going to dive into probably the next few, honestly.
The Death Wish series, just before I talk about the first Death Wish movie, but I guess I'll cover the first one here. The Death Wish, the original Death Wish, is a fine movie. It's not a great movie. It definitely has its issues. Its politics are kind of fucked. Like, it's kind of a bit of a pro-vigilante movie. Again, I think Halloween 4 is kind of a pro-vigilante movie too, but it's just like, it's not my favorite message in a movie. And I think from what I've read in like reviews of this film, and I think reviews, in 1974, this was based on a novel. Supposedly the novel was much more anti-vigilante than the film is. So, I haven't read the novel, so I can't verify that exactly. But, I don't really love some of the message, but at the same time, I do think there's a lot of humanity in the character of Paul Kersey because of Bronson. And all that's to say is that that's all gone in like all of the sequels. The Death Wish 3 is just the most violent movie ever made, where he's just shooting up a bunch of people in a couple of square blocks of the Bronx, and it's like the most amazing movie you've ever seen. Death Wish 2, probably a little bit closer to this one, and then I know there's a Death Wish 4 and 5. I think the series went as far as like into the 90s, and I don't remember anything about those. I just know it gets funnier and funnier when Charles Bronson gets older and older, because he's just this old guy going around chasing people with guns and stuff, and there's just something kind of funny in that. So I will say, like, I enjoy the Death Wish series as a whole. There's no doubt in my mind that the first one is the best movie. It's probably not my favorite just to sit down and watch, because it is slow. It is meandering, like you said. It's a little boring. But the movie has some, it packs a punch, though, too. I do think there's that emotional core of, Bronson's performance, but then also just seeing the daughter, seeing her just in her state and everything. And unfortunately, the son-in-law sucks. Whatever actor that is, he sucks. Thought he was terrible, but
Jack was awful.
Yeah, so, I mean, I like Death Wish. I don't love it. There is just something wildly appealing to me about.
Oh, he's from the Bronx.
The actor is okay.
Yeah.
Just like Jennifer Lopez.
Just like Jennifer Lopez. He died very young.
Just like Selena, who
Yep.
Jennifer Lopez started her career playing, of course. But yeah, so there is something at the end of the day just incredibly appealing to me about gritty 70s action. You comparing it to action movies of today, or even action movies of like the 80s. Let's take Die Hard or Aliens, or, a lot more boring. The action isn't as fantastic. There's not as many big special effects. There's not as many awesome stunts. But there's just something about that grittiness, whether it's like some of the blaxploitation movies, or Dirty Harry is one of my favorite movies ever. Just like that slow-moving 70s, like, tough guy action thriller. I love that genre. And Death Wish is not my favorite in that genre. I think I probably prefer Shaft. I definitely prefer Dirty Harry. I prefer Across 110th Street. But it's a good example of that. It's a seminal action film. Maybe more so than it is a classic action film, but I do like it.
Good, you should.
So how do you feel about your, well, you don't live there anymore, but your original hometown's representation?
I mean, that's what it was.
Death Wish.
I understand.
Yeah, in the 70s, yeah.
That's what it was. I know for a fact.
Okay, yeah. You're gonna love Death Wish 3 because that's the Bronx too.
They're pretending that's what it's like again, but it's not.
Yes, yeah, that's a good point. The way people talk about crime, it's like it's that, and it's not. It's nothing like that. But just, can we get Times Square to what it used to be? That's all I want. I want those movie theaters showing kung fu movies all the time. There's a great era for New York City, a great era for Times Square. The Knicks were good the last time in history, or I guess they were good in the 90s, but, you know, there's some great moments in New York in the 1970s, but very few of them involved criminal justice, I guess.
Almost none.